Okay, this video is going to go out to Surtek and Kashif. I want to go through a few things that are at the warehouse that I want to make sure Kashif knows as they're coming down the pipe, or as they're coming down the pipe in general, that we know certain things can't be sold or are probably going to be a lot less likely to be sold well in Michigan. For example, this is North Carolina state. It's like a blanket, okay? So that right there, this little North Carolina state blanket, is not going to sell well in Michigan, so it really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to put this item on the by the case site, because we're not selling that far out of state. But when it comes to Sellberry, you know, and I guess even it could even go on the by the case site too, because some people might be buying these items for to resell them online, so that's a possibility. But just to let you know, there are some things that really probably would sell better in Michigan than others. So this item right here is one that probably wouldn't sell as well in Michigan, and that would probably, this would probably apply Surtek to Dan. So Dan probably isn't really going to want to push these to businesses because they're not going to want to buy anything that's going to be that far out of state. And then there was another item. These right here, these little, they're little Bluetooth box, little Bluetooth, but what they do is, you see they have the name of colleges on them. So I have a feeling this is going to be, you know, something that's going to be for an online sale too. They got the name of colleges on them, so just to be aware of those things as they're coming down the pipe. You know, this one's that's Syracuse, I believe. You know, and they're little Bluetooth speakers. So just to be aware of things that are coming down the pipe that have names on them that, you know, Dan really wouldn't need to be aware of as much. Once we get selling out of state, or once he starts moving to out of state places, or once he starts talking to a lot of people that deal with online selling specifically, then I think would be okay. Okay, I'm going to go through every item on your list, Kashif. So this should be the final list. Some items you'll see that I don't have all the dimensions, but I'll give you enough information that I'm sure if you were to go to Amazon, based on, let's say, the measurements I give you, that you should be able to get the weight from there on a similar size product. Okay, for the wine bags, it looks like they're 5 inches across, about 13 inches long right there. And there's 4 to a bag. So, you know, if there's 4 of those to a bag with those dimensions, if you go to Amazon or any place, Amazon or eBay, I think most likely, it'll at least be able to give you the weight that way. In some cases, what's going to happen is Tyler is going to be sending you the photographs, and, you know, that's going to be the main thing he's going to be sending you, Kashif. But if there's ever a situation where you need more information from him, because based on a matter of a minute or two searching, you weren't able to find other information like dimensions or weight, then you'll make a list to send back to him to say that you need these dimensions. Now, gradually, you should be able to find this stuff online, because, I mean, for example, those kids shovels that you had mentioned that you didn't have the dimensions for, you know, it took me, you know, I went to Amazon and I just typed in kid shovels, and I mean, I couldn't find the exact ones, but I found some that were so similar in size and material that based on everything I saw from the ones we have, they're about the same. And then we'll keep an eye on it at the postage end to see if it turns into any problem. But in some cases, it doesn't have to be the exact same thing, as long as it's close enough that the postage isn't going to get thrown off one way or the other. Okay, Kashif, and so I've given you the dimensions on this, and then to each one of these cases, there's 6 to a case. Okay, but what we're doing them is we're selling them. I think that's one of those that we're selling them by the 4-lot bag. I'm thinking that's one of them, because I think that's one of what we had decided to do, and that's been a while since we talked about it, so let me know if that doesn't sound right. But yeah, I didn't want to sell them by the individual bag, of course. I would think a bare minimum would sell them by the 4-lot, these bags right here. And then, of course, if people want to buy it by the case, then, you know, but this is the minimum I think we'd sell those by. Okay, the case with those wine bags in it's going to be 15 inches long. So I don't know if you want to worst case it and just say that the individuals are 15 inches long. And then 15 inches long. Let's see. 6 inches wide, and 4 inches tall. Now, like I said, in some cases, you're going to need more information than you're able to get off of the internet. But in that case right there, you know, if we're selling them by the individual package, I don't know if you need to know the full box dimensions, as long as it all plays out in the end when it comes to the shipping. So it's just a matter of calculating the one bag, and then maybe adding, the only thing that you'd be adding a little bit more to the bag is for the cardboard and the plastic that come with this. So, you know, if somebody orders 5 of these, we want to, you know, kind of figure out, you know, how to add a little bit more weight or something onto it, or maybe a surcharge or something, just to offset the cost that's going to come with the cardboard itself. In a small box like that, a cardboard's really not going to be anything. So I, you know, Touch, I guess, see what you can come up with suggestions on that. And the same thing's going to apply for this. This is a box of the garden tools. At Touch, is there some sort of formula that we can put together that we say, based on the items or the size of the box, that this is how much that much cardboard would weigh? And I suppose we could weigh them every time, but what I'm trying to do is trying to keep it efficient enough that once Touch has, or Kashif has all the information he needs, that it's pretty rare that he has to call back to the warehouse and say, I need more information about that product. So I'm just trying to keep it as efficient as possible and to minimize the back and forth. Okay, the case box for this is going to be about 8 inches across, about 12 inches high, about 11 inches long. That case holds 12 of those sets of kids gardening tools. One thing, Kashif, is you really want to get familiar with what these codes mean on the side of the box. Like, for example, this one right here tells me that there's 12 of these units, 12 of these right here per box, okay? But some of them are going to vary. Like, you know, you see codes here, you'll see different codes, and it's going to be really beneficial to get familiar with what these codes, you know, so you know every time you go in there that there's a pack of 6 in there, case pack of 6, you know all this information right here. This unit came from Target. Nice says Target store right there, so that could help with your research. And the numbers that they look, I believe it is this number here that they look up in Target, so you can find items in Target. But it's really going to be beneficial to get familiar with the codes on these sides of these boxes. And then one of the things, Ceratec, is we can put that, one of the pictures that needs to be taken as far as for the product, but also to take a picture of the side of the box. So like I said, that could help eliminate the whole back and forth if Kashif not only has a picture of the item, but has a picture of the side of the box and the information on that as well. Okay, we're going to hold off on the fiber powder, which is here, because I'm not sure how many of those they have already outgoing. So Kashif, you want to put that on a separate list that's going to actually go to Tyler later on, so he can go ahead, because what's going to happen from now on, just so you know, both of you know, is as soon as things hit this warehouse, they're going to be taking pictures of stuff. So it's not like it's going to sit there for weeks and weeks and weeks without pictures. So to be as efficient as we can, as soon as they hit the warehouse, they need to start taking pictures of every single item that comes in. So once it's on the shelves and all those pictures are to you, Kashif, you automatically, your part starts right then, and you're getting the information and pricing and uploading it to not only all the Sellberry locations, but then to the main site as well. Okay, of the little grow kits, there are 4 rosemary. There are 4 chamomile. 4 of the chamomile, and there are 2 of the basil. 2 basil. See, in Kashif, in situations like this, which is called a disco ball, in situations like that, they're probably going to have to measure that. So you might, you know, knowing that, you might want to put that on the list that you're going to need a measurement of that disco ball, so you know what you know, where to gather information for that. That is only the disco ball by itself. It doesn't have any motor or anything like that. Same thing goes with this item right here. This is a Baker's Pride pizza oven. Now these 2 things right here are going to go under our used section, which I didn't even check to see if you have that used or pre-owned section that we had talked about. But this is a commercial pizza oven, and it's got the little pizza spatula and has all these little trays that come with it. And so yeah, that does work, and so that's going to go under the used commercial section. Now these right here, which are semi-tires, these are going to go under the new section. And the way they could tell these are new, sometimes you might have to talk to them, but these little beads are showing. So these are new. These are retreads, but they are brand new. And those are some of the things you want to put on your list if you don't already have them, so they can take pictures of that stuff. And then if it comes out looking kind of, you know, that it's not clean, like I'd have them see if they could dust stuff off just to make it look decent as they're taking pictures of it. Or if you happen to find, you know, don't take that much time doing it, but if you happen to find, you know, pictures of these tires online, you know, they'd have to send you the sizes and dimensions of everything of the tire and the make. But just to keep in mind that that they're retreads, which means, you know, this is tread that's stuck on here that they use for semi. So like the original tread must have worn off, and then they had these retreads. Okay, Kashif, the Craft City slime kit. I'm not sure which one you're talking about because there's only 2 slime kits that I'm aware of. It's this one right here, which I'm not quite sure if that was slime or not, but it's, and then these right here. So worst come to worst, you might have to send me an image of what you're talking about because I'm not quite sure which one you're talking about. Okay, here's the information on these yoga mats. I had made a video before on these, so I'm not sure what happened, but I did send a video out for these yoga mats before. These are eco-friendly type yoga mats. There's some information on them there. The only thing about these, they didn't mark how thick they were. So I'll try to measure it just to give you an idea how thick they are and how long they are, because they for some reason they didn't mark that. Okay, so just after measuring these, they look like these are the 70 or 69 inch long version. Color wise, it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of this pink model, which is kind of a pink on pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14 of this orange on black. 3 of this kind of light purple by dark purple, and you can research them, probably find the larger version of like a stock photo somewhere of these, but yeah, hopefully you have enough information to find that with what I'm sending you. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these kind of green and grayish color right here, and I think just 1 of these black, which is like an all black, and I think that is it. As far as the thickness goes, of course, the tape measures, it wouldn't measure it right, but just to give you an idea of the thickness of this, this is the thickness right here, about as thick as a little bit thicker than a key maybe, or a little bit thinner than a key. So if you look at the part that hasn't been cut right here, it's actually a little bit thinner than a key. So I don't know what the dimensions are of a key, but hopefully that helps. The tetherball quantity is also going to be stuff like this is stuff that they already have online on sites that they are using now, but they aren't going to be using them anymore once we're using Sellbrite. Sellbrite is going to have everything kind of all consolidated under 2 roofs, kind of. You know, it's going to be under the main site, and it's going to be under all the Sellbrite sites as well, but it's all going through Kashif, so you'll know exactly what quantity is of what. But I don't put that on the list of items to get in the future, near future from them, so they know. I don't know if their plan is going to be to move those items off of those other sites, and then it's strictly going to be under Sellbrite, or if they're just going to try to wait it out to see if they sell. Personally, I'm going to talk to them and just see if it's not going to cost them any money just to pull them off those other sites, so everything's under one roof now. Okay, the Ultra Comfort Joint and Health Supplement, put that on a list for later too, because I know they have those online, and I just don't want to have us putting them on and then they're putting them on, and we're going to run out of quantity because we're not paying attention to that part because they're 2 separate spots. But once everything's under just those 2 roofs of Sellbrite and by the case, then we will know the exact numbers. Okay, so I've sent one out for this too. I'm not sure what happened with this video, but there's going to be 3 different styles. There's going to be one that's the smaller markers where they have the different names on them. There's going to be one like this, which is a long one where you can mark it yourself. There's going to be one like this that you can mark yourself. and there's going to be one like this that you can mark yourself. Now, based on that, I had gone through all these boxes, or I counted, did the math on them, and I had sent all the actual numbers. So, if you need the quantity, yeah, with these I might have sent the information before, but maybe I didn't send the dimensions and weight. I think I might have just sent you the quantity. Okay, these are 10 by 4.5, or you could say by 5 if it's going to make you round up. All four of those styles are going to basically be the same. As far as the weight goes, I don't have my scale here. But I can't, if you find something similar to these, this is going to be another one of those, that if you find something similar, they're all made of metal, they're 6-2 a pack, you'll probably find the exact same ones on Amazon, and they should have the weight there. And from my understanding, Kashif, with what you've learned about doing the research on these, it shouldn't take, I think you were saying, to find some of this, I know how long it takes me to find it, and you probably type a lot faster than I do. So based on doing the research, it should take, a minute or two to find a lot of the information that you need for these items. Okay, and so for the 2-set abstract black and white embellished canvas, those you're going to have to put on your list for him as well. And then the battery dedicated bath sponge. Oh, okay, for those bath sponge, you see right there, it's 32 pieces to a box. So just to give you that information there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to Tyler, because I want to have him send me the links for all the places that they've gathered because all the items on these shelves are already online. So I want to have him give me the information as far as where his main store is, so then, Kashif, you can start pulling all of the information for these and start getting them ready for Sellbrite and the main site, because they'll have all these already on, quantity and everything else. But yeah, I think it's just going to prolong things if we let them keep it on under their name instead of hurrying up and putting everything under Sellbrite and getting it going. So, all right, well, that is everything other than the few things that I said need to be put on a list, which if we move all this stuff over to Sellbrite, then that's where I think the ones that you're missing are going to come up. So, and if they don't, keep track of that and let me know, and then we'll pass that along. You'd let Saratech know, and then Saratech will pass that along to Tyler. Okay, that should do it. If you have any questions, let me know.